I'm just wondering why. Um, see, turn on notifications. I already turned it on. I just turned it on. It won't let me turn it on. I just wonder why I can see a whole bunch of these comments on YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio. I couldn't see these. Like, I didn't see any of these on my YouTube app. See Jimmy Grabowski 20 hours ago. Yep, did not see this. Well, still didn't see it. He doesn't know the difference between spam and porn. See Jimmy Grabowski. Now, why doesn't that show up? Because of the word porn. Uh, so they now notice which videos are getting attacked the most, right? Because this is what they have to do. If if this stuff wasn't true, right, then why are these people going out of their way, spending so much time to actively say that it's not true? You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself this question. Is it true, right? Let's see what the hell. See, look at this. Tumi and Irene said that her brother actually bragged behind her back that he was her handler. He didn't even know what that meant. And he probably didn't. He probably doesn't. He probably has no clue. Nobody, I'm sure if somebody told me about this program, right, and everything they could tell me about it, and I tried to imagine it, I still wouldn't, you wouldn't understand it unless you're going through it, you know? So she said, these people are just planted to methodically discredit us and make us look bad like we're crazy. There's no way we can both live the same things. We know exactly what we're talking about. You're quite advanced in the research. For you, no saving yourself, but believe me, my brother did everything he could, and unfortunately, when I said this is not a video game or a movie, they're dangerous. He actually laughed and said, "You don't know what you're talking about." They murdered him a few weeks later. I tried to save Patrick, but I was scared. I couldn't even save myself. They killed all my family members around me, and me and my sister-in-law. It's over 60-year-old widows are looking at each other like, why are we still alive? And why are these people following us in these cars? I treat I treat them. Please don't get close to me because I have two tasers legal in California, two stun guns and brass knuckles, and enough pepper spray to float a half a prison yard. So please don't fuck with me. I'm not the one. Thank you, John. Thank you, Irene. Thank you for speaking out despite everything they have done to intimidate you. And shut you up. Yeah, Irene. You know, I've said this that I didn't feel like I had a purpose before this, and then when this happened, it hit me, and it was not even an inkling of a doubt. Without a doubt, this is my purpose. Without a doubt, that I will. That's what I'm here for, to expose this program, and it literally gave me a purpose again. Of course, I'm a dad, a single dad, two kids, and that's that is my most important job. But I, you know what, call it selfish if you want. Um, it's not right of me to shut my mouth in fear. of my kids getting something happen to my kids. No, that's not right. That's the problem. That's the reason that these people have so much power, because we allow them to control us with fear. And they already tried to kill me twice. It's in God's hands. Whatever happens is going to happen. Whatever happens is going to happen. If it's my purpose and my destiny to die by their hand because from speaking out, so be it. That'll be what happens then. But I can't sacrifice countless lives, and God knows how many lives, just to keep my kids safe. Because God, I mean, we all know that they don't stop anyway. They don't fucking stop what they're doing, you know. And I would absolutely regret it if I stayed silent. Just the thought of how many lives I could save, or how many people, how many people I've already helped. I've had several people that have thanked me, and that have and I do sometimes. I don't think about the seriousness of it sometimes. I don't know. I guess I do, but it doesn't affect me. I know how serious it is. I mean, I do. They tried to kill me twice. Believe me, I know how serious it is. And for some reason, that doesn't even phase me one bit. Not one bit. If anything, it motivates me to speak out even more. And yes, I fear for my kids' safety. But you know what? If you're doing this shit, if you're a part of this, I can, I would have more fear for my children if I were one of the gang stalkers, or one of these people in this criminal organization. I'd have more fear for my kids if I were one of them than if than in my position now. And don't be don't be fooled. Listen, if you're going through this and you have not spoke out yet, you better do it now, because it might be too late tomorrow. I'm telling you, if you haven't spoken out yet and you know what's going on, they're going to go for you first. They're going to come after you first, because they're going to silence and take out as many people as they can without getting their hands dirty. The people they can take out and just put an excuse on. Oh, that person had mental illness. That person killed themselves. They got mental illness. There'll be nothing to say on the contrary. Now, however, if you speak out now, today, like yesterday, and you let the world know what these people are doing, what they've done to you, and let it be known, put it out there that there is a threat, that there is a group of people, that are following you, that are doing this shit to you. Then, if something happens to you, they know right where to look. I promise you, I am not suicidal, and never have I been suicidal, and never will I be. Not even close. Not even close. I will never, never take my own life or kill myself. That's important. So if something happens to me, you know what happened. And I pack everywhere I go. That's why it was important to me when they tried to kill me twice and then they took my pistol, that I spoke out even more about it. And I spoke out even more and more, specifically about the very specific people involved. And you know what happened? You push back and you get results. I spoke out about specific people involved, and what do you know? The physical stalking part of it slowed down. Believe me, they're probably more determined now than ever to finish me off. But they don't do the open, stalking near as much anymore, because they're afraid. They're afraid now of being exposed. Now the spotlight is turned around on them, and I got my gun back. I got my pistol back, and the cop that tried to kill me no longer works in this town. He's gone too. So you tell me if I've been effective or not. You tell me that this is all a coincidence and that this isn't going on. It's just a big coincidence that I speak out about all these things happening to me, and as I speak out about them, what do you know? They stop happening, and they try to make it right. They try to shut me up. Here you go, shut up. Here you go. No, you're good. You're good. Here's a disorderly conduct. Shut up. Oh, here's your gun back. Shut up. Come on. You know, I'll never shut up. I'm sorry. That's I'll never violate that. I took an oath. I swore an oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will uphold that oath until the day I die. So nothing will keep me from that. Not fear, not selfishness, not even my the thought of what they can do to my own family if I don't if I speak out. So there's nothing you can do to sway me. Nothing. I mean, I've even thought about it. I had a guy in town here. I said I ruined his life, and he threatened to put a bullet between my eyes. Okay, and he attacked me on Main Street, right in broad daylight, or well, 11, 12 o'clock at night, right in the middle of town. Attacked me continually, over and over and over again. Wouldn't stop. And it wasn't until he realized he wasn't going to be effective, he wasn't going to get me, and he ended up being, I would say he ended up humiliating himself in doing that. And this is somebody I've grown up with that I've known my entire life, starting to put a bullet between my eyes, right? So I don't give a shit about you. You threatened to put a bullet between my eyes, and you're destroying my family, and you want me to shut up because you have problems over this now? I didn't cause you problems, buddy. You caused your own problems. Don't come after me. Take accountability for your own actions. Coming after me is not going to solve your problems. I promise you that. If anything, it's going to cause you more problems, much, much more, exponentially, much more, many more problems. And then another person who I, I put it out there on my channel what people were saying to me compared to what the truth is, I guess. And then another local business owner here, he wasn't too pleased with me. He threatened to fight me as well. He wanted to go outside and fight me as well. And he's mad that I just tried to say, hey, how you doing? Now all I did was ask him questions. I asked the right questions about my kid, just trying to do. Nobody can blame me for what I was doing. Now he's not mad at anything I did to him. I didn't do anything to him. I didn't call him out. I didn't do anything bad to him. Um, he said I called him a liar. Dude said I called him a liar. I never called anybody a liar. Now what I did do was tell the truth. If the truth reveals and exposes the obvious fact that he lied, that's not my fault. You can't expect me to lie for you so that you don't look like a liar. Like, seriously, that's the total opposite of taking accountability. And if they want to, they want to come at me and threaten me and then gaslight me and try to tell me, oh, don't involve the kids, don't involve the kids. Well, you fuckers are involving the kids. Now I have to protect the kids, and I have to speak out even louder and let everybody know now they're targeting my kids. Yes, they are targeting my kids. They are singling my kids out, and they are doing smear campaigns on my kids, and they're absolutely doing things to try to destroy my children's lives because that's the thing I care about most. That they think they're going to get to me like that. Well, no, I thank you because you're allowing me, you're helping me to teach my kids a very valuable lesson at a very early age. Unfortunately, no kid should have to endure this. No kid should have to worry about the stresses of having their reputation and their social life destroyed at their age. But that's not on me, that's on you. I often make sure that I get with my kids and make sure that they're okay with me telling the truth. They've never said anything about that. They don't worry. They know I'm going to tell the truth. And I've always told them, I've never told them to shut their mouth about anything. Especially like me. If there's something they don't like about me, I've never told them not to tell anybody. Okay, that's not right. You shouldn't have secrets. If you have secrets, it's because there's something that you don't that you did that you know is wrong, or you wouldn't be you wouldn't be keeping secrets if you didn't know what you were doing was wrong. So I taught them the same thing. So they don't expect that from me either. and expect me to keep my mouth shut. You know, I think they realize, like my son realizes, you know, they're going to get pushback, and you know, it's tough for a kid in eighth grade when these people's kids go into school and like they do stupid little shit to pick on them and shit. It doesn't bother them. I mean, it's stupid shit, petty shit. It's even beneath that that level, even beneath the eighth grade level. And because it backfires, it doesn't end up working. You know, how the last kid that just tried to do it, my son is getting assault charges because these two boys got in a fight over this. The other kid is the one who was going to school running his mouth, trying to pick on Ben, trying to make fun of Ben, my son. And then when it didn't work, and whenever his buddy said, turn it around on him, and they would pick on that kid and say, and tell him, oh, you're going to lose the court case and this and that. And he didn't like it very much when it was the shoe was on the other foot. So you know what he did? He went and told. He went down to the office and told on my son when my son wasn't even doing anything. He just sat there and shut his mouth. So it was the other kids that were picking on and doing this. But he went down to the office and told the office that my son was doing what he was doing. So then there now it automatically looks like my son is picking on this kid. And it was the exact opposite. So then they get in a scuffle. And the kid absolutely had him in a headlock and was assaulting him. So he has every right to defend himself. When he defends himself and it gets broken up, it was lasted all of a whole 15 seconds, right? No marks, nobody got hurt. Okay, kids fight. I mean, kids fight, especially in school. But but they teach them in school. You know, if you engage in the fight, you know you're going to get in trouble too. You can't engage in the fight and then expect not to get in trouble. That's why they have teachers and principals in the protocol that you go and you tell somebody if somebody's messing with you. You know, you don't put them in a chokehold and fight them and then expect to not get in any trouble. You're doing no different than they are. But this kid did. He didn't get in any trouble. The officer straight told me, nope, he wasn't charging him with anything. Not at all. He admits that the kid had him in a headlock. He admits that the kid swung at him, and and he says, yeah, no, he's not getting nothing. Just my son. And what do you know? Now that kid, I was just told yesterday that kid moved out of the. He doesn't go to the school anymore. Just like that. No, it just seems all a little bit too convenient here for it all just to be coincidences. I'm sorry. I'm pointing this stuff out so that other people are aware of this, that it's going on. You know, there's a reason that whenever right now, instead of being stalked, you know, and people give me these big smirks, you know, and they beep at me and shit. Now when I go downtown, people avoid me like the plague because they don't want that confrontation. It's the people that were involved. They don't want to be put in a position where I ask them the right question, you know, and hold their feet to the fire. So they actively avoid me, very much so now. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't put anybody on my YouTube channel that doesn't ask to be put on there. So all you got to do, it's real simple, you know. The solution to this thing is not to keep doing what you're doing until you get me. That's not the solution. Sorry, that's the problem here. Okay, and you're gonna see more and more bad things happen in your own lives if you don't until you realize that. If you just if you stop it, you just knock it off, fucking stop it, then you know that's a solution. Because people make mistakes. I can forgive. I won't forget, but I can forgive. And then you stop it, and then what do you know? I stop going on and on and on about it, right? And I stop saying your name, and I stop putting you. I won't put you on blast on my YouTube channel. And then before you know it, you know it's a distant memory. We can drink beer and laugh about this. But until that happens, you know, you got to look over your shoulder. You got to sleep with one eye open. You got to, you know, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So, and nerve to roll out. Dude, come on. Do you realize how you look? All the pushback against this. Do you realize that you're not making us look crazy? You're really, really making yourself look like you are. This is your job. That's how I see it, right? And I know I'm not the only one. See, what's this? This lady knows her. Oh, okay, this is King Ti. See, he says this lady knows her shit. Everything that she just said is 100% facts. The headaches are a symptom of the DEWs, directed energy weapons. And Nerve Girl says, actually, no, she doesn't. Tell her to take an interview from me, and I'll show you how much she doesn't know. And let's see, King Ti says to Irene, person of interest. It's an acronym or an abbreviation for directed energy weapons. I'm still learning on educating myself as well, but directed energy weapons. It's used to shoot radiation at a TI or a targeted individual, be a satellite or gang-stalking scumbag equipped with a directed energy weapon. And I believe they use it at cell phone towers. And her girl says, at to mean Irene, person of interest typing with caps lock on has always been considered rude on the internet. You should probably turn caps lock off and stop yelling. See how he just changes the subject? Like the importance of this and how serious this is, and people are talking about it, and all he's worried about is how you type on the internet, and if you have an ad blocker or not, and if you are as big a fucking computer nerd as he is, and if you don't know every fucking in and out and every nook and cranny and every term on the internet, then you shouldn't be there. This is just obviously a directed campaign to try to silence and to to discredit people and to turn them around, just to get them to go somewhere else, to get them off of YouTube where they have a voice, where people are listening and people are joining in. Whenever we already see the huge amount of people speaking out about this that's going through it, can you just imagine for a second how many people have yet to say anything that are going through it? Can you imagine that? I mean, it's got to be more people that are suffering in silence that are speaking out right now. I guarantee it. There has to be, because this whole program is, just by default, you don't want to say anything about this. You don't want to go around having people think you're crazy. You think you think what am I trying to gain by talking about this? Believe me, if somebody told me this shit and I had no idea, I would think they're crazy. And I say that honestly. So so that should tell you, enough right there, that if somebody is knowingly saying, hey, this sounds fucking crazy, I know, but it's true, and you're not, you just dismiss it. What's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you just do your research and look into it yourself? You know, and I'm sorry, anybody that says it's not happening, you don't have any evidence of that. How can you say something's not happening with zero evidence of it? There's lots of evidence and testimony, tons of testimony that it is happening, and lots of evidence that's damn near very compelling and damn near undeniable. Okay, so when you have all of that on this side, in one hand, and then in the other hand, Nerd Gorilla saying it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. That's all he says. There's no evidence to that. Okay, so yes, gang stalking is happening. This targeted program does exist, and the federal government is spending your taxpayer dollars or whatever funds from the government to track and surveil and harass and systematically destroy innocent American civilians' lives. That is happening. Prove me wrong. How about that? Prove me wrong. let's start there. Not I'm wrong and I have to prove it. The program is designed not to leave evidence. Come on, they've been doing this shit for decades. Something that's designed not to leave evidence. I doubt that there's a memo that they put out about it. I doubt that I doubt there's any paperwork, to be honest, um, that officially proves that this program exists, the existence of it. Why would they? They'd be stupid to. They're the intelligence agencies. Why the fuck would they keep something like that laying around? Historically, knowing about Edward Snowden leaks and everything else, how that all panned out for them. They tend to learn their lesson when mistakes like that happen in history. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if there isn't a single piece of paper that that suggests that this program exists. You know, it's just an unspoken thing. These people are all doing the same thing. Why the hell would they talk about it? They know better. It's their game. They know the rules. They made it up. They know better than to not talk about it, not leave a paper trail, not leave evidence, and not compromise each other. And it's every man for himself. So if you get compromised, guess what? Sorry, that's not your luck. You're the next one to get run over by the bus. You get thrown right under the bus. I mean, the CIA has operated like that for years. You get your CIA agents, right? But they're not the ones going out and doing the jobs. They're just doing the hiring. They're like the procurement department for the government. They procure things and they get shit done, but just by pushing papers and getting shit done. They hire contractors, private contractors, to do that shit because they can hide that in the fucking private sector, in the public sector. Actually, they can hide it because these companies don't have to disclose what they do. They don't have to be transparent. They can have government contracts and do this shit and never have to fucking tell anybody. Never have to disclose anything to anybody. And guess what? The FBI ain't gonna fucking be investigating them because they're the ones that put them up to it. Come on now. And I'm sure that most of the people in the FBI are good people that have no idea about any of this. This is compartmentalized. The people at the top absolutely know about this and are involved. And it's a need to know basis. The people that need to know are only told what they need to know. And that's it. And they know better than to ask anything else. You know how they know better? Because they know what they're doing is wrong. So they know that the more information they have, the bigger risk they have, the bigger target they'll have on their head. They've operated like this for decades. They know better. This is where they turn their head and look the other way because they don't want to know. They say, no, don't tell me. I don't want to know. That's alarming right there. And there's information that law enforcement and intelligence communities don't want to know. Listen, I tried to tell this to a group of state cops, a couple state cops one day. They came up with every excuse in the book to fucking get the fuck away from me and not have to hear what I was telling them. And at the end of the day, whenever I finally basically got the gist of it out, they told me they couldn't help me because I was like 100 yards out of their jurisdiction is what they claimed or something. I was in a different group of state police jurisdiction, and I had to call them. And that's not how that works with state cops. They have areas that they patrol, but it's not like a jurisdiction. They're state police. But they didn't want they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want nothing to do with it. They didn't want to touch it because they know about it. They know, and there's nothing they can do. This is higher up. If it's higher up, they know what the higher ups are capable of. So it's kind of hard for people in the know that are in law enforcement because they probably are have every decent intention in mind in their day-to-day job. But you can't expect somebody to throw themselves right out there under the bus if they don't have a means to stop the bus. be a waste of a good resource. People don't know, don't even have a pathway to help protect or serve people. What are they supposed to do? They just sacrifice themselves and become the next fucking one to get framed and smeared as like a child porn fucking, you know. Listen, there are cops out there that are get exposed, right, as being these like people that they find a bunch of child kitty porn on their computer and shit. I'm sorry, but I guarantee you, nobody's going to tell me that every one of them was guilty of what they were accused of. I guarantee you that some of them were set up, completely set up. It's what they do. When you hear the whistleblowers that literally say how they set them up, that's what they do. Why would you be so naive to think that it doesn't happen? It doesn't go on. It's Murphy's Law, okay? Murphy's Law. I've always lived by Murphy's Law. And sometimes you gotta live a little. You gotta take some risks. But before you do something, you just have to think about it, and you gotta think of the consequences and think if something can happen, it will happen. Plain and simple. Okay, so the fact that gang stalking could happen, it is possible. Therefore, it will happen, or in this case, it already has happened. If we can think it up, then there's somebody doing it. It's that simple. And if there is a void, where corruption can flourish, it's gonna do that. And those places only exist whenever good people choose to do nothing. So in the absence of good people is when evil can flourish. Evil is allowed to flourish when good men do nothing. So that's the problem. And now that it's gotten so out of hand, it seems daunting to tackle this problem. But we still got the problem. You can't keep kidding yourself. It's only going to get worse and worse if we don't do something. And then it's just a matter of time before, they're running out of people here. You're doing the gang stalking one day. Tomorrow they're going to be targeting you. Come on. At what point do you wake the fuck up? Wake the fuck up. I didn't mean to go on this big long rant, but I was just checking out some of these comments here on YouTube Studio, because I see a bunch of comments that I don't get on my YouTube here. Salty Grunt. Dash cam in your Ford Explorer. Got it. Saw you the other day. Tap my brakes twice to let you know. See, what the fuck is this? Whatever. Okay, here it is. Tap my brakes twice to let you know. Soon I will find what school district you worked for. You will be unemployed that day. Hope it was all worth it. So is he talking to Nerve Gorilla? What? Oh, I think he is. Yeah, he is. Okay, so Nerve Gorilla, you work for a school or what? I haven't read this one either. Let's just read it together.
Replies. Nerve Gorilla, 5 months ago edited, 32-minute video and you have nothing to show. So if I sit a caveman down and watch this video, where is the obviousness? Swing and a miss. Strike 37 dude. You're out. Look, let me say this. I'm glad you got security cameras. That's good. But you don't want to become obsessed with them and scrutinize benign things like a guy walking around yet nothing happens. If you want to do that yourself, fine. But you're wasting people's time by putting it on your channel. You know that, right? Even other TIs I bet will yawn at that stuff. It's not gripping. It's not challenging. It's not exciting. It shows nothing. I'm just telling you. Do you remember Mrs. Doubtfire? That dinosaur guy on TV who was putting the cameraman to sleep. That's you, dude. I have more exciting dashcam video that actually shows exciting things, but I don't make those videos public. I have dashcam video of a guy trying to walk into my garage at the same time I drove in it, and you see me get out of the car and putting my gun in my holster because I almost might have had to use it. That video is more exciting than any video you ever uploaded, but I never showed it to anyone, because nothing bad happened. The guy obeyed my command. 7 likes, 6 replies.
Yeah, he didn't upload it because he doesn't want anybody to know his identity. It's real simple. Wonder why the guy was going in his garage. But well, why are you so paranoid that you're gonna pull your gun in broad daylight when you see somebody in your driveway? That's pretty sketchy. Like, you have something to worry about, Gorilla? And it's funny how you see all the gaslighting he does here. Oh, there's nothing going on. Quit recording the neighbors. Quit recording weird stuff. It's boring. Nobody cares, right? Don't put it out there. Nobody cares. Oh, really? Well, what if some of that is relevant? What if some of that absolutely is relevant and changes the game? What if wouldn't the perpetrators try everything they could to get me to to stop it and to quit and to take it down? Yeah. I'm not trying to be paranoid. I'm just awake, dude. I'm just awake. And when you have to live in this mindset because everything they do is to destroy your life, and you're forced to live in that mindset, it's not paranoia anymore. It's not paranoia, it's survival. It's awareness and survival. I'm not paranoid at all. I'm not paranoid that shit's going to happen. I just expect it to happen. And what do you know? It does. So, you can't tell me that fucking kids. So there's supposed to be 6 replies to this, but I see 2. Where's the other ones? Okay, this is it. And then view all 6 replies. No, there's 2. Of course there is. Of course there is. And he says, tell this lady to take an interview from a skeptic. I'm real tired of these backslapping interviews. This isn't an interview so much as it's self-aggrandizing promotion. Oh, yeah, because he doesn't do that ever. I want to see T.I.'s answering tough questions, not softball ones. Yeah, I want to see my gang stalking brother answer some questions. Why aren't you asking him the questions, Gorilla? Aren't you curious? I've made the claims. Now, I can't get to the bottom of it by asking me the same thing I've already told you. You got to ask him the questions. Put his feet to the fire. If you want to get to the bottom of it, ask him the tough questions. Shouldn't be hard to find him. He trolled me all over the internet. They made all these fake accounts about me and everything else, so it shouldn't be too hard to find him. He's the guy that's on there saying that he's not my brother. Yeah, that's him. 10 replies. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, well, I want my brother to quit gang stalking me. We can't always get what we want. Let's see. We read those already. Yeah, did you see that Too Mean Irene? She did a video showing she had chemical burns all over her face. You can clearly see these are chemical burns all over her face. It's not like she fell asleep with a cigarette in her mouth or something like that. Okay, they're all over her nose, down her upper lip, and her chin, and everything all around her face. Because she somebody offered her a bottle of water, dude. Somebody gave her a bottle of water, and it was fucking chemicals. That's not normal, buddy. Sorry, that's not normal everyday shit there in her brother. And you're gonna make fun of her because she stopped because she heard the Brown Eyed Girl playing. That's what you're gonna point out. That's what you get from that story. Aren't you wondering why they tried to fucking kill her with fucking something? No, you're gonna call her a liar. You're gonna say she just made that video to make up an excuse because she's all methed out or something, right? She's on drugs and she's just doing that as an excuse. No. How about she would just not make a video and show her face if she was worried about, you know, having to make an excuse because she had burns on her face from something else. She just wouldn't make a fucking video, dude. No, she did that to show everybody what they did to her, and that's not normal. Pretend for a minute that she's telling the truth, right? And these people handed her a bottle of water that was actually chemicals to try to fucking do what? They took everything else from her. She doesn't have any money or anything. Like, what does somebody have to gain by doing that? Doesn't that beg the question, what's their motivation? Doesn't that lend, uh, evidence towards what her testimony is? Doesn't that lend evidence towards what she's saying, what thousands of people are saying? You're going to ignore that evidence, right? You're just going to say, nope, she's lying, right? She's lying. No, see, I'm asking you the tough questions, Nerf Gorilla. Hypothetically, she's telling the truth. Why would somebody do that? Is that normal? Is that normal activity? Do you think that's normal, Nerf Gorilla? See, you see what I'm saying? Like, he clearly looks like an agent the more and more he tries. Because, yeah, you might get some stupid people to laugh and yeah, agree with what you're saying because it's easier. It's easier. It's not as scary to just accept that these people are all crazy and you try to be funny and make fun of them, right? That that's the safe way, buddy. That's the easy way, and that's safe. Of course, there's people are going to flock to that idea, but there's also the people that are in the know, and there's the people that, despite their fear, they still want to know more. But you don't. No, you do, but you don't. You want to give people a voice, but the only reason you do is so that you can pick them apart. You can find, I don't know, maybe grammar mistakes or what they're doing wrong with technology. So you can point that out. It's and veer from the subject. Anything to deflect. Anything to deflect from the fucking actual truth of what they're saying, right? That's how I see it. It's just it's just mind blowing to me that he still will go on here and actually say these things and he doesn't see. I mean, he has to see how much of a fucking perp he looks like. He has to realize that people are not buying it. He's not fooling anybody. I mean, if he was, believe me, if he was getting fooling a bunch of people and they were agreeing with him, believe me, he would put it out there and show everybody. Look, see, this person agrees with me. Look, see, this person agrees with me. That's what that's how he is. That's what he does. Grand. What's the word he used? Grand design or whatever. Fucking grandstanding is what he's doing. Any chance he can. It's his internet. He's been here since 1995. You have to do it his way. It's his internet. I thought, did you invent? Wait, maybe you're the real inventor of the internet, right? I thought it was Al Gore. No, Nerve Gorilla invented the internet. You have to play. You have to. You're only allowed on the internet if you do what he says. No, I think it's cool that he teaches people to take back your freedom of speech and your freedoms as far as the internet is concerned. I think that's awesome. It's great. But you can do that, Nerve Gorilla. There's a whole bunch of fucking tech sites and tech channels, all kinds of YouTube channels dedicated to teaching people these tools and teaching people these skills. There's tons of them, dude. Believe me, I've been watching them for a long time now, learning quite a bit. But I don't need the world to know what I know. I learned that lesson. So I'm not going to go on there unless you try to teach me technology that I already fucking know. You know, you assume everything. That's your problem. You just assume way too much shit. You assume everything you say is based on an assumption. Everything you say is not based in a peer-reviewed fucking publication. It's your assumptions. You think you suffer from cognitive fusion. Okay, it's called cognitive fusion, where your thoughts. We all have thoughts, tons of thoughts that go through our mind all day. We have negative, positive. We have the thoughts that worry us. We have the good, the happy thoughts, the positive ones. more negative ones than positive most of the time, but they're just thoughts. Okay, it doesn't mean that the thought is true. Most people understand that, but sometimes you get these people that are mentally, they have mental health issues, right? And they suffer from what's called cognitive fusion, right? Where they're in their minds, if there's a thought that enters their mind, they can't help but just to be stuck in that thought. They think it's true, right? Because they had that thought in their brain that they think it's true. It's called a delusion, and they can't escape that because they little do they know it. They have a rule in their brain. Their brain will not allow them to see things this way or that way. It's like a rule. It won't allow them to do that. It's like a defense mechanism. Okay, and that's it can be good, but it can be very very bad too. You destroy your open mindedness. You destroy your chance to learn anything new if you already know it all. Why not have an open mind and keep your mind open to anything that's possible? Because what I've found in my experience is anything that's possible, even no matter how improbable it is, anything that's possible ends up being true in some shape or form. If it's possible, then it will happen. It is happening. Just deal with it. Just because it's not probable doesn't mean it's not possible. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to exercise cognitive diffusion. Okay. Where you need to be able to recognize which thoughts are, the ones that are just they're just coming into your head just to say hi and then they leave. You don't have to accept them as truth because you had a thought in your head. So you need to diffuse yourself. You can live with your thoughts. You can live along with your thoughts, not see the world through your thoughts. Okay? You have to stop seeing the world through your thoughts, Nerve Gorilla. Okay? You got to be able to diffuse those thoughts. Cognitive diffusion. Look it up. Look it up. Learn something. Learn something new. Read something. Look it up. This is what you suffer from. Okay? And that way you don't see the world through these thoughts because these thoughts are controlling you. Whether you're not going to admit it, you know, because I've never heard you admit that gang stalking is possible. It could possibly be happening. Never heard you admit that. The fact that you won't admit that means that you have that role. It means that you let your thoughts control you. You let your thoughts run your life and your beliefs, and then it trickles down from there. So you need to use cognitive diffusion, diffuse your reality from these thoughts. Okay, they're just thoughts, buddy. Allow yourself to recognize reality in the very very obvious reality that this everything that we're reporting is absolutely 100% possible. A lot of it very probable. And when you can allow yourself to see that truth, maybe then your brain, will allow you. It'll fix itself. Your broken brain, it'll fix itself and allow you to be open-minded enough to see the truth. Okay, to see what's really going on around you instead of being blinded because you're looking. You see the world through these thoughts and these roles that you have in your brain, your broken brain. Because you sit in front of that fucking computer all day, dude. You play Diablo even while you're fucking thinking, doing shit. You're playing Diablo. You don't realize how programmed you are because you're the one that programmed yourself. You don't even realize it. You can't even, you know. So, do yourself a favor, Nerve Gorilla. Allow yourself, allow yourself to have these other thoughts. Okay, change the rules in your head so that your brain can fix itself. Okay, stay open minded. Believe me, I'm not crazy. I can't tell you if any of this is true or not. I don't know. I don't have the proof and the evidence, obviously. None of us do. None of us do. We know what we know. I can't unsee what I've seen, and I can't unknow what I know, though. which is why I'm so adamant about it, and I can confidently say that this is, this shit goes on. So, because I have evidence and a human experience in this, I have that to base on my claims off of. You say it's not happening. You have nothing to base that on. It's not happening for you because they're not doing it to you. They forgot to send your girl a memo telling them what they were doing. Oops, my bad. Hey, sorry, you know what? They should write you an apology letter, Nerve, because the federal government forgot to send you a memo letting you know about this highly top secret fucking program that has national security implications. That is restricted classified information. They forgot to send you that memo, buddy. Whoops. You got a security clearance, Nerd Girl? Even if you had a security clearance, that doesn't clear you for this. It's compartmentalized. It doesn't mean that they would tell you this anyway. That's why I say most of the men and women working in law enforcement intelligence agencies, I guarantee, are good, down to earth, good hearted people. I believe that 100%. Most of the people that are involved in this are doing something from their perspective is under totally different pretenses. They're doing something that from their point of view is for good intentions. It's only whenever they realize or they find out they've been duped and that they are being being used to harass and systematically destroy innocent American citizens' lives. And that's the one fact that you don't vet it. You're told what to do. If you're an agent, you're told what to do and you do it. It's not your job to question. To question why are you doing it. That's why there's a chain of command. So these guys don't really ask. Now, if they did ask, if they did know this and that, then they would do the right thing. They have that power of choice to say no, this ain't right. So why do you think it's so compartmentalized? They're not gonna, you know. And the shitty part is, it all starts with, as far as the targeted individuals go, it just boils down just to people just making up lies. People just lie to begin with. Okay, I could call and tell them that my neighbor is doing this and that, and just make it up, make a total lie up, and then they put him on a federal terrorist watch list and do this shit to him based on, you know, based on what I told them and assuming it's true. It's not real hard to lie. I mean, anybody can do that. And then when they throw money at you on top of that, they give you a job and they allow you to be, part of it. Then you are invested in that too, especially if you're the one that lied. You have a unique investment and motivation to keep the lie going and to actually to be successful in destroying that person's life because it's your life on the line now. You've done something you know to be wrong, and if it were ever to be found out, then the implications are much, much worse for you. And you know that, right? If you're the person. So that's I believe how certain people in town get so into this so much because they're among the privied patent population that's in the know that we're actually probably have responsible for a lot of it. The reason why I'm targeted is when you live in these apartment buildings, people live there for a long time and they just don't like certain people. Or they don't like how they live. They don't, so this is what they do. This is a tactic. This is a system that they use a lot of times in apartment buildings. They'll stalk and harass a tenant that they don't want there. They want him gone. So they'll stalk and harass him, do smear campaigns, and do all kinds of weird shit to get him out. That's not like any. That's not news to anybody, you know. But what is news is when you include like the law enforcement, the first responders, all the local business owners, and other people that have nothing to do with the apartment building you live in, and them being involved too, and then they follow you everywhere and do all this crazy shit. then you realize it's a whole lot bigger. And, you're just the lucky son of a bitch that got thrown in this program. Somebody lied on. If, in my experience, if you're not pissing people off, you're not ruffling feathers, you're not causing people to talk about you, you're not doing something right. You're just conforming. You're just doing just another cog in the wheel, same as everybody else, another NPC. It's the ones that are speaking out that have something to say. There's a reason that they're that they're discrediting what they're saying because they want them to shut the fuck up. So, with that said, be good or be good at it. Peace out.